sponsored by Trice Hughes Chevrolet. Want to wish everyone a good Friday morning here as the end of May is winding down. We got a big weekend ahead of us, Memorial Day weekend. The baseball and softball teams entered district play this past week, and one of them was victorious in winning their 6th district crown in the Caldwell County baseball team. The Lady Tiger softball team was runners-up in the district, but both will advance to the region next week, DT.
That's right. I was sitting here thinking about Lyon County since we got all these people here with us now, but back in my day, they probably remember some of them. I can't remember who I had. Well, I know who I had to play against was I didn't like it either. They were too big for me. Jackie Patton and they had a big. What was the big? Well, no, he was too young for me. He was Jackie Patton's age. Big blonde-headed guy, great big guy. What was he? I can't even remember. Harvey Freeman. Harvey Freeman was one of them, and well, Steve Rogers and Kerry Rogers and all that bunch. So I won't mention too many more names after that because we always got in trouble. Harvey Freeman's your cousin? He looks like you. Matter of fact, I won't tell him that. But.
I wish I looked like him.
But then I did run around with Richard and Johnny Calhoun too, so that didn't help any.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, you know, today is Lyon County Day for us, really, here in the station at WPKY, as we've got a couple of very special guests that we'll introduce here in a few minutes, and we got one calling in, a former Lyon County product as well, and Coach Kerry Stovall. Just to talk a little bit about the spring sports season winding on down. All the sports, I believe, are completed except baseball and softball. The drawings will be held tomorrow morning at Crittenden County for both softball and baseball. The baseball region will be played at Crittenden County High School, and the softball region will be at Christian County. So we want to wish our Tigers and Lady Tigers the best of luck as they enter play, and I know Coach Doom is wanting to wish his Lady Lions the best of luck as well as they enter the district as well, or region as well. The possibilities, I think, Ty, if I read this correctly, the winners of the 4 districts in our region were Caldwell County, Christian County, Henderson County, and was it?
Throw it out there. I don't know.
Who was the 5th? Livingston.
Yeah,
Central.
Livingston.
Livingston Central.
Yeah.
Those are the
Yeah,
4
those are
winners.
the 4,
Those are the 4 winners. So, and then the 4 losers. Of course, we'll draw a loser from one of the districts, but we'll be opposite. There's too many combinations,
Yeah,
I guess.
a lot of
combinations you can draw.
We'll know tomorrow, though.
We'll know tomorrow, and I'm sure Coach Stallings will release that information as soon as possible. They always open up on Memorial Day, and on Monday. They normally start playing around 10 o'clock, somewhere in that neighborhood, and it runs all the way through the night. So there will be a full day of softball and baseball on Memorial Day, and hopefully the weather will hold up. I heard your weather forecast. It's supposed to be a beautiful day on Monday.
Good.
Saturday night and Sunday morning early, it looks like we could have some bad storms move in here. So stay tuned to WPKY and for your weather forecast. And I know, Ty, you'll be giving them updates.
We're going to come in here if we have to in the middle of the night. That's the way we're going to do things around here.
That's great. That's great. Dennis?
Your storm will be when you play golf that morning with Coleman, right?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, and I got a text yesterday from him. And, of course, we're going to try to tee it up at 8:30 in the morning, and he better bring his A games.
Of course, you just have 9 holes now, so you can sneak off real quick if it hits rain hits you. So
that's right. And you know, I participated last night in men's league. First, I hadn't played in 5 years. I didn't realize it until I went up there to pay my hole-in-one money, which I had to double up and have to pay for it. But it's been 5 years since I participated in men's league. Of course, my son-in-law, Riles Farless, talked me into playing, and I told him I'd pay the money just not to play, you know, unless it was a half-two case. And, of course, last night was a half-two case. Some of them couldn't make it, but we had a good time out there. The course is really in good shape.
it is.
It's really in good
nice.
shape. The greens, the new greens that they've sprigged is really looking good, and starting to see some greenage out there, and Even the front side of the course, the greens are in pretty good shape. So there's a lot of people out playing golf, and of course the weather we've had has been beautiful.
Yeah, where I live, I can see people coming by on 2 and 9. And usually when I'm out in the yard, I don't see hardly anybody. But now since they're only on that side, I see a lot of people
I guess
that
you
come by
probably
and
saw
playing.
me come through 9 and struggle.
I got in the house when you came by.
Had some bad holes last night, but that's just part of it. I think there was a lot of golfers that had bad holes last night, but it's a fun time, and the guys that participate in that league, is pretty dedicated to it, and it's Buddy Cash, I guess, formed it back several years ago.
Done a great job with it.
And Fred's was running it last night, Fred Foltz, so,
Well, it's good to see a lot of younger guys out there too. We got to have younger people as we go along here. We were the younger ones at one time, and it seems like it's gone pretty quick.
Just a short time ago, we were one of the younger members.
Yeah.
Now we're the older members.
We had to help move things and all that, and now we can't move ourselves.
That's right. Dennis, you got any shout-outs this morning for any of our listeners that
Well, if you hadn't asked me, I did.
I got one. I just heard that got Tiger of the Day, Billy Baker. I ran into Billy at the baseball game Saturday night. And, of course, we hadn't brought that up. But the longest baseball game in the history of Caldwell County baseball, I guess, was played Friday against Marshall County. It went 14 innings. And we were able to pull that one out by 1 run. 8-7, I believe, was the final score. And just a terrific ball game. And I went out for a little while and watched it Saturday evening and ran into Billy. And we want to wish him the happiest of all birthdays.
He's a happy man. He's my age. His birthday was today. Same age. He went to Fredonia. Of course, back then they didn't have Caldwell County all by themselves. I had to play against him in basketball, and he let me know yesterday that if Roy Boyster would have thrown him the ball, he'd probably gone to college. Roy would never throw him the ball. But he did also let me know, too, that he's probably the only Caldwell County in history that has a son and a grandson playing at the same time on the varsity football team. One's a senior and one's a junior or a sophomore. I can't remember. He sure does.
That's right. And we want to give a shout-out to you on a birthday.
It's
past
over.
Wednesday.
I'm shouted out.
And, you hit the magic number.
Oh, buddy. I'm glad to be here.
You are officially can play from the senior tees now. How's it feel?
Well, it would feel good if I could hit it.
Oh, you can hit it. And I know you probably got some special birthday gifts.
Oh, yeah. My wife and my daughter gave me 2 golf lessons down at Golf Mart. That's what I need right now.
Well, you're never too old to learn, are you?
No, that's for sure. And especially when you can't do it anymore.
That's right. Well, we're going to take a short break here and hear from our sponsors, Trice Hughes Chevrolet. And when we come back, we're going to introduce our guest here live in studio. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
Let's talk OnStar. Most GM vehicles, maybe even yours, are now equipped with OnStar. The benefits of OnStar are immeasurable when it comes to saving your life and the lives of your loved ones, helping locate your vehicle in the event that you can't, and navigating you when you are lost. OnStar offers automatic crash response that sends emergency responders to your location even if you can't speak. Stolen vehicle assistance will locate your vehicle immediately in the unfortunate case in which someone mistakes your vehicle for theirs. Turn-by-turn navigation is available to take you anywhere you want to go with the push of one blue button. And you can always stay connected when you activate OnStar 4G LTE and Wi-Fi hotspot on select vehicles. OnStar keeps you informed on your vehicle diagnostics and can even diagnose a problem as you are driving down the road. Activate OnStar on your eligible 2011 model year or newer vehicle today and get 3 months free plus 3 years free of their basic plan. Stop in Trice Hughes Incorporated today for details or assistance on your OnStar activation. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. So you're sitting at home, relaxing after a hard day at work. You would like to shop for a vehicle, but simply didn't have the time today. Well, thanks to modern technology and your friends at Trice Hughes, you can pick out the perfect vehicle, get an estimated trade-in value, and even submit a credit application from the comfort of your living room. Visit TriceHughes.com, and in just a few short minutes, you could be on your way to a new car, truck, or SUV. Trice Hughes Incorporated makes it simple to shop from the comfort of your own home. That's TriceHughes.com, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Here at 103.3 FM, the Tiger, for Tiger Sports Talk, sponsored by Trice Hughes Chevrolet. We have with us live in the studio. Today is Lyon County Day. We have Mr. Jeff Doon and Mrs. Deena Doon, and we're sure proud to have you both here with us today to talk a little bit about Lyon County athletics. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having us up. We're glad to be here early in the morning. First day out of school officially.
You get to get up again. That's
I get
good.
to get up again. I was
How
looking forward to
come
sleeping in.
We got out a week ago and y'all were just getting out.
It snowed in Lyon County.
Yeah, snowed in Lyon County, and
It's those test scores we're working hard
Yeah.
on, you know.
test scores working hard for Deena and of course our school. But yeah, we have a harder time trying to figure that out. Why we start later and get out, or start earlier and get out later than everyone. But anyway, it's good. It was a great year. We had a good, safe year, which is always a positive. Great year in athletics. We just had a lot of good things down there this year.
Well, for you out here listening and also watching via stream, Jeff is the athletic director and the head girls basketball coach. His wife, Deena, is the guidance counselor and also an assistant girls basketball coach for Jeff at Lyon County High School. And tell us a little bit about your season this past year.
Well, our season was, we did really well. Our girls just amazed me year in and year out. They came out and we had lost a couple of pretty good scores the year before. So we were kind of concerned about where we were going to get points. We had lost 74% of our points scored to graduation the year before. We were really concerned, but this bunch came out and had a great summer. They did a great job and ended up winning 19 games, just shy of the 20 that we always shoot for every year, and did some good things. Got to the championship game of the All-A and got knocked out by Crittenden County, and then same thing in the district tournament. Got to the regional tournament and played a whale of a game against Webster County. This group of girls just had a great heart. I know we played Hopkinsville late in the year. We were down 19-0 to start the game. Came back fourth quarter, we were up 4 and ended up losing that game by 2. Same thing with Webster County. We dropped, I think we were down 14. Deena keeps the book for us, and every part of the stat you can imagine in that book, does a great job for it. But we were down 14 early in the game, 14-0. Came back, took a lead, and girl hit a shot. It was amazing. Bounced like 20 foot in the air and went in to give them a little bit momentum going in. But we felt like we had a good shot. To be honest with you, we felt like if we could have won that game, we might have had a shot to get to the championship game. Which, as a coach, I've never done that. But these girls amaze me. We've had a good year. We're losing 3 great seniors. And then we're going to try to reload, revamp, do something. I don't know what we're going to do, but had a bunch of young girls. And we'll talk about this, I'm sure, a little later on. But one of my problems that I've had with the KHSAA, when they opened up this year-round sports, it really took away from kids playing everything. We only had actually one girl in our whole school system this year that played more than one sport, just one. So it was crazy that that happens, but it takes away a lot of your athletes, especially in small schools. So excited about that year and looking forward to next year. We get kicked off here Tuesday morning. Open gym start up at 8 o'clock. We'll get after it again.
You know, I've always said, and DT is a believer in this as well. A head coach is only as good as his assistant.
That's exactly right.
And you've got probably the best assistant a head coach could have.
Well, let me tell you, the good Lord knew what he was doing 27 years ago by putting us two together. It's crazy how well we just kind of work off of each other, I guess. But Deena and I coached the Lady Lions softball team for 20 years before this year-round stuff got going. And then there were a couple of factors that took into that for us getting out of softball. Our son came along, and we were told from his birth he was born with a heart defect that he wouldn't be able to play any sports. He did. He played. He shocked everybody, I think, including us and his doctors. And but his freshman year, he made the high school team, and when I think we saw 3 of his games, if I'm not mistaken. And that was, to get an opportunity to see kids play and not get to do it because you're doing something else took a big role in that. So we got out of that, and then also that was the year that we went year round. So our softball girls were really getting behind because we coached basketball as well, and it's kind of hard to get out of something you'd done for that long. Well, I know we brought fast pitch to Lyon County. Those were some great years.
That would be a whole nother segment.
And that would. The first game, I know the only kid, we played Reedland. I don't know who scheduled that game, but I know
Tony McKean coaching over there then?
he was. And we had one kid get on base, and that was our leadoff hitter all night long. The game lasted 34 minutes. And the reason she got on was because she swung so late at the fastball, she hit the catcher's mitt, throwing it back to the pitcher.
He is not lying.
That's a true story. So we grew up really quick in fast pitch, but we've had some good runs down there, and it's just awesome. You know, it's like I said, the good Lord put us together for a reason, and I think athletics was part of it. She's a big help to me when I can't be at ball games. She covers them, and the great thing about that is I think every time that I've been absent, she's had to throw someone out. So certainly makes me look good, doesn't
Been trained well.
Well, before we get off the subject of Deena, I'm going to give her a hug in front of everybody in the camera. Everybody's looking. She was one of my first players when I had to coach middle school. I say had to.
I heard
Coach
that.
middle school girls basketball. They couldn't find anybody to do it, so they asked me, and we went down in that old dungeon and practiced in the bottom of the Butler building.
I'm not sure how
But
many know there was a gym there.
I know it, they didn't, but she was not only a good basketball player, and she's a fine person, and we sure hated to lose her. She took off about the next year, I believe. Then you never went to the high school,
I
did you?
did not. My
That's what I
mom
thought.
remarried, and I went
Right.
to Lyon County
Right.
against my will, but it was a good thing
Well,
in the long run.
Well, we sure hated to lose you. I'm gonna tell you.
I
that.
appreciate
You're a
it.
fine person.
Then
you-
I
if
followed
you-
in your steps and guidance. So
I know
see?
it, and I'm hoping that you're not following in the steps like Gates and I did when Dr. Lacey was over at Crittenden County, the superintendent. Do you remember him?
I do.
Yes.
When
I
we
do.
both got the job down here, his first comment was, "Well, I guess the suicide rates will go up now." So I hope you're doing better than we are.
We're not going to talk about that. Now,
You gotta know Dr. Lacey.
I worked at Crittenden
Yeah.
for a year, so I did know Dr. Lacey. But Jeff does need to comment. I'm actually more of an unpaid assistant. He has some wonderful women that help him out on the basketball. So I just kind of cover on all of his jobs.
Right.
I figure it's going in the same fund, so hey.
Well, you've got a big job, though, in the guidance department and making sure, checking the eligibility of all these athletes.
That's
and
true. We
tell us-
try.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, each week we check on the grades, and we push them a little harder even than the KHSAA. We set the requirements that they cannot be failing any class. And so sometimes we get a little hardship from that at times, but it does hold them to a higher standard, and we really push that academics is important, not just playing on the fields or courts and all. So we check on those. We have some kids, though, Jeff maybe was going to mention this, but I think we have 5 different athletes that are playing at the next level, some of them 2-year colleges or so on, but I think we had 2 softball, 1 young lady playing basketball, 2 soccer,
And then we got one playing tennis.
and 1
So,
playing tennis,
6
so
of
it was
us.
6 of them.
Very athletic class.
Talk a little bit, give those kids some exposure.
I would happy to. Well, I'll start with Terriana Johnson. She was our point guard. She's going to be moving on to go to Chattanooga State University. She's going to be playing down there, 2-year school. And the great thing about that, once she gets down there, she's going to do great. She came to us and moved in from Crittenden County, and her mom was a Lyon County, and she moved back home, and just a great asset for us. She did a heck of a job this year scoring, put a lot of time in over the summer, and did a great thing there. We've also got Jake Frankie, who's a tennis player. He's going to be going to Midway College and playing up there. And then we've got 2 softball girls moving on to Brescia. Lainey Oden, Caldwell County name. Sure everyone remembers her. And then Lily Jones is going to be moving up there to play with her. And the great thing about the Lady Lions softball, they're still playing. We pulled out a district championship the other night over at Trigg County, and we had to play Crittenden County for the 4th time, I think, maybe 5th, because I think we even scrimmaged them early in the year. And they had knocked us out 3 times, but our girls really stood firm. We had a 3-1 win over there, and it was awesome. Just a great time for them, and tickled to death those 2 girls are going to be moving on and playing. JoJo Wilkerson. Where's he going?
I think Midway maybe
To
or
play
soccer.
He's playing soccer. Yeah, he's going. I didn't know Midway had a soccer.
Oh,
program
maybe
up
it's not Midway.
there. And who am I missing?
And then Kendall Sandoval.
Kendall Sandoval, another
Came from
soccer
Crittenden.
player. He's going on to play
Boyce.
at Boyce University.
Yes.
That was one I had never heard of. So, but yeah, it's a great class. Those kids are awesome in their sports, and we're excited they're going to get to move on. But better than that, just great kids. It's one of those that, well, Pat, and DT, you do too. When you get to know these kids and you're around them as much as they become part of your family. And every one of those kids we'd welcome in our home anytime. Several of them been there, so. It's just a great bunch, and we're excited that they're moving on and moving up. It's always hard to see them walk out those doors for the last time, but it's also awesome to know that they're going to be moving on to continue their athletic careers.
The good thing, too, is, of course, I'm much older than most of you, and they didn't have all these schools that participated in things like this back when I was. You either had to go to the bigger schools
Right.
or OVC, Murray, and Western, or you just didn't go play anything. Now they can go. If they enjoy playing, they might not have a scholarship, but they can go participate.
still get a good
and it's
education.
not,
That's right.
they can have a good time and still enjoy it and not have to give it up as soon as they get through.
Well, and that's what's exciting, that we have found. If you want to play, you can play.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. And then what's even better is when we get those phone calls. And I mentioned this last night. We had our class night. We graduate tonight. But last night at our class night, we mentioned the fact that when I get a phone call from college coaches or someone, and I wish our younger kids would hear this. They want to know what sports these kids play. They want athletes, and I know we are specializing in the state. I kind of feel like it's pushed that a little bit more, and I think they're starting to regret it. I know Mr. Tackett at the KHSAA commissioner up there, he's starting to put out some stuff. The multi-athletes are the ones that these people want to go after. We talked about muscle memory and the injuries because of repetitive sports. I just wish we could get more kids playing more sports. I wish we could get it back in the day. Our daughter graduated, and I think she played 3 sports. You just don't see that anymore.
Well, it didn't hurt her at all, did it?
It did not. And it was
Kept her busy and out of trouble and
It kept
everything.
her
No
busy
offense.
and-
Not
Well,
that she'd
and-
be like Deena was, but,
Yeah.
you
No, that's who we were hoping she would be like. We didn't want her to be like her daddy.
Well,
but-
the injury.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't have near the injuries. It seems like those who play that one sport, they're just
Right.
more prone.
Right.
Yeah, that's
You're-
what we talk about, the repetitive part of it. So I'm pushing for every kid to get out and play as many sports as they want to. And I know sometimes we as coaches want our kids to dedicate to our sport. I'm a basketball coach, but I had 3 or 4 girls that were on my basketball team that would have made great soccer players this year. I begged them to play. Emily Workman is our girls soccer coach, and I know she was right there with me, but same thing with softball, and we've got some kids that run track and that do very well. We had Austin Duff. I want to mention him. He got to go to the state tournament in hurdles, 100 hurdles, and finished 14th up there, his first time there. So I guarantee you next year he's going to be back ready to get up in front of that pack, but we're excited about him. Derek McHouston is our track coach. He's also our boys soccer coach, and he just does a phenomenal job. He comes to us from Providence, and we're going to hang on to him because we really like the way he does things, and he does things the right way, and we're tickled to death about that.
I remember when y'all started your track program. You used to bus your kids over here and
Yeah.
practice on our track.
Sure did.
How long ago was that?
Well, that's been, let's see here, 2017. I remember one time when we first started our track program way back, I may have just been out of school or maybe still been in school. Our track was the parking lot. So you did good going downhill, but when you had to go uphill. But and we've added a small track in the back where the kids can at least see the lanes and work on the hurdles a little bit. And we've dug a long pit, a long jump pit. So we're trying to catch up, and hopefully someday we'll be able to build a track so we can host a few things. But that program is really taken off. Beginning of the year, I think we had 42 athletes that were involved in track, and and to win a state championship or a regional championship, you've got to have someone in every event. So I know that's what Derek's working toward, Coach McHouston, and trying to get kids involved in that. And it's a great sport. The good thing about that, it's at the same time as our busiest season. Now we have bass fishing and tennis and baseball, softball, and track. So we have 5 varsity sports going during the spring of the year. But it's good because those kids can multitask. They can do more than one.
Tell us a little bit about bass fishing. This is something that's just came into existence.
Do y'all have to furnish the boats and everything?
No, we do not. If we did, we wouldn't have it. I promise you that.
I know you got some avid fishermen over there in
We
Lyon
do.
County.
We
so
do.
I
We just
imagine
had a young man who received
Right.
a scholarship last night. I don't remember the amount, but
For bass
bass
fishing,
fishing,
yeah,
really?
yeah. There was. I think one of them was $500, and then I think there was another one too, and I can't remember what it was.
what's the
but
qualifications of being a coach?
a coach for bass fishing, you have
Do
to.
you have to be able to
you
catch
have to own a boat. You have a
to know
boat
how to
captain.
bait the hook.
Is what it is.
I was going to say and take the fish off, and
Yeah, you
that's
know,
not
that-
Jeff Doom.
that-
Me either. I'm not going to touch one of them.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
like it
either.
either.
But
That's
it's really built. That
It
program.
has. It has around the state. Of course, where we're at, what an awesome opportunity we have on Lake Barkley. But and they have the state tournament down here too. So it's a two-man team or 2-woman team. One of my softball players or softball players, Allie Ellis and Jenna White, they fished one year. I think the only tournament that they got to go in, it got rained out or something. But anyway, it was good to see them. And that's one of those sports that gets kids. You don't have to be able to run a mile or be able to throw a shot put or be specified. If you enjoy fishing, and that's what we're trying to do, get more kids involved to keep them, giving them an alternative to doing things that maybe they shouldn't be doing. So that's what we love about athletics. We've got bowling now, and there's archery and all kinds of things. We don't actually have it in Lyon
we
County.
have
but
a bass fishing team here at Caldwell?
I don't think you do. And it's one of those things that it came around because we had some bass fishermen coming up.
and you got ladies as well as
Yes, yeah, we
men
do, we do.
participating?
That Title IX.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, those.
Yep,
Those Title
exactly.
IX reports. Those are something else. But we're trying to keep as many people active as we can. But I started mentioning a boat captain. You have to have a boat captain, which has to be an adult, and they have to own their boat. The great thing is, and then 2 persons, and then you're going out and fishing, and you go out and practice and find those
Hot spots?
hot spots. Love those.
Can you do a boat, DT?
Nope.
Nope. I was trying to find you.
Yeah,
No.
find us a coach.
And I think, didn't they have the state championship here about a week or 2 ago?
It was, yeah. It was at
And-
Kentucky Dam.
And was it Muhlenberg County?
Muhlenberg County and Tree County did well. Marshall County always does well in that. I think Graves has a team in it too that did well. I think we finished. We were 2 ounces out of getting to move on in the regional, so we didn't get to compete in that. But it's really cool sitting there watching those kids, come out and throw up their fish and be proud of their sport. We've just since it is a varsity sport, we just ordered for the first time the little pins that go on the letters. So now if you see a bass fish on a letter, you'll know what that means. They it is to letter and bass fish. That's right. So and that, that's neat. We back in our day, the letter jacket was pretty cool. We don't have those a lot anymore. I know a few kids still wear them, but I think it's a good idea to be proud of what you did and what your accomplishments were. And we've got a kid graduating next year that, if I'm not mistaken, we'll have lettered in 5 sports. So we're excited about that. I'll come back and bring him with us next year and talk.
Hey, you also got a pretty good golfer down there, don't you?
We do. I was going to make sure I brought that up. We started out the season with Cullen Brown winning the state golf tournament, and that's a big deal. And I know you all have had him on the air. And Cullen, he's a wonderful kid. He has good blood. I'll just tell you that. Cullen and I are cousins, so
I knew that happened.
I had to throw that in there. His mom and I are first cousins, and but like you said, whether we're kin or not, just a wonderful kid. The other day, he does so much for our school. He's also one of our FCA members and one of our huddle leaders in that. And he spoke in front of his peers the other day that I had some kids wanted him to preach the baccalaureate because he does such a great job. And what a witness, I guess, for the program of golf. He's been all over the world, and not only that, but he's an avid hunter. I'm sure y'all talked about duck hunting because he loves to do that. But just a great kid. The other day he was. They had what was it? What were they cooking for? I don't know.
Originally, it was for those involved in the career and technical education program, and he's
So-
active in that. So him and a few of the other young men were grilling for all of those that were coming up as freshmen next year. And then it went to taking some orders from the teachers, and now we think we're going to do that once or twice a month.
Once a week is what I want. I mean, Cullen can grill. I'm
Because
telling you, that's
Cullen was
great.
taking orders for steak, chicken, pork, whatever you wanted. He was going and buying, and I will say they were good.
They did a really nice job on that. But yeah, so we're real proud of him, and hopefully he's going to be able to get back up there and defend that championship this year. And looking forward to that. We also have Bailey Fowler. Is a female golfer for us, and she's got to go to the state Class A tournament, I guess, all 3 years in high school as a freshman. She'll be heading on off there hopefully again this year, and hopefully maybe bring home a state championship in the Class A golf tournament.
Well, I know how excited you are about those individuals, and DT and I were so impressed with Cullen when he came in, and I mean the way he presented himself, and a lot of times you don't know if kids are going to come on and talk, what they're going to say. We had no problem.
No,
at
we
all.
didn't need to say anything.
He can take up an hour. He
But
sure
you know,
can.
he's one of those kids too, like you were talking about, that the golf isn't his. That's not necessarily a priority.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't practice every day and all day and make himself sick of it. And he's talked about doing everything.
Yeah, he is a very well.
And I even asked him why he was going to Kentucky as opposed to a southern school where he could play every
Right.
day. And he said, well, I like to hunt and I like to do, and he made good
It
point.
made a good sense.
Yeah, he's one of a kind. I will give you credit for that. I know I'll give his grandfather a lot of credit too. When he was young, he stayed with Todd on his dad's side, and Todd and him went through the encyclopedias. I know they read encyclopedias, and very intelligent young man.
You could tell.
I tried to give him a radio the other day. He was in the office, and I don't know, we had a lockdown for some reason or another, and he was answering the phone, and I told him, I said, yeah, I just need to give you a radio and my keys and let you take over, and I guarantee you he would do a great job. Just a phenomenal young man. But
Hey, before we take a break, I just want to say, give a shout out to my old assistant coach, Miss Sherry Paxton. That was her, and let Deena tell who some of the teammates were. I can't remember. I'm too old.
Oh my goodness! Although I do remember several working with them as much as the Lyon County crew that I joined, but gosh, you put me on the spot.
Well, JJ was one of them.
JJ, yes.
JJ Griggs.
Griggs
and,
now.
Griggs now. I honestly, down in that old dungeon, you can't remember anybody. I do remember Sherry and all us lining up on the wall over there, and we'd kind of choose who we were going to scrimmage each day.
There you go.
But name-wise, we're both blank. So anyway,
We'll have to think on that. And come
you all
back.
call in later and tell us who we missed. Sorry.
There you
I tell
go.
you, this old age isn't very good. Is it?
it's not.
Well, I think part of it is when you go through all the students we go over the years, I forget
That
which
does-
ones graduated
yes,
or which
right.
one I taught. So
We're going to take a short break here, but we want you guys to hang around. We got another guest that you are pretty much aware of and went to school with. So we're going to take a short break, listen to a couple of our sponsors. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM.
You already knew that Trice Hughes in Princeton has the #1 service department in Western Kentucky, but did you know that when it's time for a new set of tires, we have you covered for that also? Our tire experts, Jeff Brandon, Garrett Harper, and Kathy Capps, have a combined 84 years of experience, and they are ready to serve you on any make and model vehicle. You'll be surprised at our competitive pricing on name brands such as BF Goodrich, Michelin, Goodyear, Yokohama, Cooper, and Uniroyal. Trice Hughes is also the only tire dealer in town to offer the economy price Kenda brand tire. All tires are road force balanced, providing you with the most comfortable ride possible, and rotations are free as long as you own your tires. Call the tire experts at Trice Hughes today. Quotes are free and the deals are worth the call. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. What does your service appointment at Trice Hughes do? Glad you asked. Here at Trice Hughes, we give a true 27-point inspection with each vehicle service. We change your oil, check fluids in your transmission, coolant system, power steering, washing fluid, and brakes. Then we inspect your tires, wiper blades, brakes, air filter, belts, hoses, drive boots, and exhaust system. Shoo, that's a lot. Keeping your vehicle maintained at Trice Hughes in Princeton is your best chance of a long and happy vehicle life. Call today for your appointment, 270-365-5522, Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
Back here at WPKY 103.3 FM, The Tiger, with Tiger Sports Talk with Gator and DT. We have another very special guest with us on the line, part of Lyon County Day. We want to welcome in Coach Kerry Stovall. Welcome to the show, Kerry.
Oh, I appreciate it. Now, one thing you're doing to Jeff and Deena there is they did not go to school with me. They are not that old.
Now, that's not what I was told.
That's true.
I am the ancient one in this trifecta right here. Jeff and I coached together at Dawson Springs a long time ago, and his lovely wife had, bless her heart, she had to play basketball, one of the first coaching jobs I ever had. I'm surprised she survived it and even talks to me right now.
Wait, you just stole the very first question. Do you remember your very first team and who played on your first team? And you just answered it.
I remember the first team. I sure do. Sir. Oh, me.
Kerry, we want to congratulate you. And you just were named on this past Tuesday as I believe right now it's the interim head coach at Christian County High School for the boys basketball team, but that's just temporarily, I believe. And we want to congratulate you and until you become the official. But tell us a little bit about what went into your decision on returning back to your old stomping grounds.
Oh, me.
You know, that's pretty rough over there at Christian.
You coach at different places throughout your career, and this place at Christian County has always been really special to me. Muhlenberg County is my home, and I'm very thankful for them for allowing me to come home and spend the last 6 years there and be in the same school with Shelby and Clayton. And Natalie probably saw me more in the last 6 years than she really wanted to. But when I had the opportunity to come back, I always say I have a great reverence and respect for Christian County and what the school stands for and the athletic program. And, I'm getting a little aged, and I don't know how many more years I have, but I know I've got 5 more good ones in me. And if I was to finish my career in 5 years here at Christian County, it would be an honor to do so. So Natalie and I both are really excited to be back.
Well, I know you are, and I know they're probably glad to have you back. I know they're returning an outstanding team for next year. And
Easy, don't put a lot of pressure.
Well, hey, I know. I've been reading I keep up with Christian County a little bit. Of course, I followed you throughout your career, and of course, you won the state championship in 2010 in Rupp Arena. Tell us what that meant to you. And I know I read in the paper that you almost gave it up the year before
right.
when you lost in the semifinals against Scott County. And tell us a little bit about what based your decision on hanging around, staying there, and the group of kids that you had the opportunity to coach in 2010.
Well, I've always felt like you're only as good as the staff you work with. I've been very fortunate to have great coaches with me always. That's just Coach Doom right there. But we had got to the state tournament like 5 times. And I was not able to, get them to the next step. And I just felt like it might be time for someone else to take the reins and kind of finish the job, so to speak. And my seniors, I called them in and talked to them, and they said, "Nope, the coach stay one more year, we'll win it, and then we'll all leave together." And that's a true story. And that's exactly what they did. And a very special group of young men.
Well, I can tell, I can vouch for that. I was over there helping with the football program, I guess, a few years prior. And I know some of the athletes that were on that team, Bubba Tandy and Anthony Hickey and Donovan Cates. Those are 3 outstanding basketball players as well as football players. And, that I know how instrumental they were in your success. But also, Anthony's dad played here at Caldwell County, played for DT&I. And I know we still keep up with him. And do you still have contact with all those players as well? Go ahead.
3 of them will be on my staff. it was really neat. The first day we had practice over here, all 5 of those guys, Deontay came in, and we had about an hour and a half workout. And you know, you always hope that your players will give back to the community from which they came, and they were out there and they were helping and coaching the kids and being positive. And it's probably one of the neatest experiences I've had in a long time to see your former players come back and be invested in some kids younger than they are. You know, I think sometimes, you know, a lot of our kids move off, and there's nothing wrong with moving off. I mean, they've got to pursue their dreams, but to see them come back and spend that much time with them, it was a really, really neat experience.
Kerry, this is Jeff. I think Anthony came down to our camp same summer, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure did.
Yeah, just a great athlete. I can't remember the other kid's name that came.
Donovan,
that's right. Yeah, both of those guys came down. As a matter of fact, I was going through my pictures the other day, and they had a picture of Ashlyn, who is now a sophomore, my daughter, with them. And, you know, that's what you want, exactly what you're saying. Those kids come back and not only give back to Christian County, but they're spreading the love all over the place, and awesome to see young kids do that.
Well, that's something we hope as teachers and coaches that our students will come back and do, and it's neat to see when it happens.
Kerry, I want to know how you feel about this. I know you're going back to Christian County. You just had the court named after you, Kerry Stovall Court. And, of course, it's Lyle Dunbar Gymnasium and Kerry Stovall Court. How does that feel? What's it feel like?
That is, first of all, that is probably one of the most humbling and most honorable things that anybody's ever done. To think that someone thinks that highly of me to do that with the tradition of Christian County still kind of mind-blowing to me. But, you know, it's like I told them when they hired me back, I said, my hope is that I do a good enough job and earn enough respect that they don't stand it off after I leave. So that's kind of my goal, and my goal's always been that here. I mean, there's such tradition at Christian County. I mean, you know, it's in all athletics, and you know, one of the driving forces for me is I don't want to drop the ball. I don't want to let anybody down and let this tradition fall in any way. I just want to try to maintain what Coach Smith has done. He did a tremendous job there for 2 years before he left, so the pressure's on, no doubt about it.
I'm sure you got a coach across town too that is probably a little bit nervous as well. Coach Hayward
good friends,
and UHA. I'm telling you, Hopkinsville, to have 3 schools with the quality of the basketball programs that they have there.
Sure.
You know, I don't think they're even in Louisville or Lexington can, you know, match up to the type of talent that they have there in Hopkinsville.
I've always said per capita, it blows my mind the talent, you know, in all sports that this city has. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. I mean, you know, University Heights won a state championship in basketball. Hopkinsville won one. We won one. You know, Christian County state championships in football, and you know, Hopkinsville is always strong. I mean, it is an amazing little place to see. I mean, we've got 2 Division I baseball players on our baseball team right now. So, you know, it's like I say, per capita, I'll put Hopkinsville up against any city in the state of Kentucky.
I know also, Kerry, we're still working on Christian County coming. We have a little shootout. And Kerry brought Muhlenberg down last year, and we're going to certainly try to get Christian County, trying to find another team to come in and play them in February. And we're still working on that. We're trying to get he came down and played Poplar Bluff last year, and just an awesome game. And again, Kerry, we're glad you're back in our area, so hopefully we're going to be able to work that out as well.
Oh, I love coming down there. I mean, you walk in. That's the first time I've been in school in a long time, and all the memories just flood, you know, through you when you walk back into where you went to high school. And yeah, it was a really enjoyable night. I can't thank you guys enough for having us, and a night that I'll remember forever. I mean, that's one of the highlights my coaching career is to be able to come back there and be on that floor again and see everyone again. It was a special night for me. You know,
and I know your parents love it when you get to come back too. They go to church with us and just great guys. And Cody actually was coached by Mr. Teddy when he first started playing upward basketball at our church, and they still hold a very, very special bond between each other.
Well, Dad, Dad hadn't missed many games. I mean, in the 30 years I've been coaching, I mean, he's traveled all over. Well, how many miles he's put on. And, I mean, that's the thing about, success. Success is usually comes from people lifting you up, and I've been really fortunate with Mom and Dad's support. But I'm telling you guys, probably one of the person that's most responsible for my success is, a Caldwell native there, Natalie. Natalie Nix. And
that's right.
She's been by my side this entire time, and all the success that I have falls directly on, of course, God's blessing, but He really blessed me with a special lady in her.
What about them two brother-in-laws of yours?
Oh, man, I love my brother-in-law. I tell you what, there is never a dull moment around my two brother-in-laws.
Donnie and Ryan. I had to get a hold of Donnie yesterday to get your number, so he sent it twice to me via text. So I know how proud they are of you as well.
Well, they are awesome family. I mean, it really is. We were over there at Callie's the other day for Mother's Day and had a great time together. And the only problem I have with it is I don't get to see them without. Maybe now that at least I'm heading this direction in Hopkinsville, we can spend a little more time together.
Well, I know you're fixing to start up your summer program. What kind of plans do you have for this summer with your group?
We've practiced 4 times, and we're not going to try to play any games probably until I think June the 13th. We'll come in next week and work out a little bit. And I've never been a big. I hope when you play, winning beats losing every time. But I'm not caught up too much in winning in the summer, especially this summer. We're trying to get players trying to get to know me, and I'm trying to know the players, and we're trying to put our staff together. But the first 4 days have really been good. I've been really impressed with our guys and the guys that are left and still on the staff. And we've got a tremendous amount of work to do. We have 2 really good teams in the city. You've got Henderson as well that is going to be outstanding, Madisonville. So, we're kind of looking up to where we need to be. But that's the fun part about it. You got to love a challenge.
Well, let me ask you another question. How's your golf game?
Man, I hadn't picked up golf clubs, I bet, in 5 years.
Have you not? Well, you used to play in the scramble over there. We used to go over and participate with the, I guess it was the football team and the basketball team that put out there at Western Hills, and I know you.
Oh, well, I think Love still does that. I'm not even sure. I've been disconnected for so long, but if he has that, I guarantee you the clubs will come out.
Well, Kerry, we sure have enjoyed having you on. And DT, you got any questions?
No, I just from what I heard him say too, though, that 3 of his players were played football back in the day when they won the state.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been talking about that, where kids need to play more than one sport if possible. And so, that's a good thing. Even in schools that size, they need to participate.
You can go and look at the past probably 8 or 9 state champions in basketball and mark off how many football players are there. You're not going to be consistently successful in this game if you don't have a good transition from multiple sports, and for me especially from football. And with Coach Loveless and the success they have, I mean, it was really a good transition the last time I was here, and Love and I talked about that, and we look forward to the same thing.
Well, I know you do, and Coach Doom, did you hear that? So you need to send any athlete down there at Lyon County that wants to play football up here to Caldwell.
Well, y'all got a bunch of our kids, to be honest with you.
Get on, Coach.
Yeah,
we used to pull them from Lyon and Dawson.
Yeah.
And,
I think last year, I think there were 13 Lyon County kids that actually came to Caldwell just for football. And, and that's the problem with us, a little bit small school. We don't have volleyball. We don't have football. So it's nice that we can neighbor up. And, I'll put on blue and gold during football season. It doesn't bother me at all.
Well, guys, I appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate you, Kerry.
I have a meeting here, and I do not want to be late because I don't want to upset my boss.
I hear you. Kerry, we appreciate you taking time out. We want to wish you the best of success this coming season. And if you're down here around Princeton, give us a holler.
How you doing?
We've been talking to Coach Kerry Stovall, head basketball coach at Christian County High School. We're going to take a short break and come back and wind up. You're listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
Trice Hughes in Princeton wants to remind everyone that we have a full line of genuine GM and Mopar parts and accessories for your car, truck, or SUV. We also offer Retrax bed covers. You have to see to believe how awesome they are. WeatherTech floor mats are a must for folks with little people and moms and dads that want to keep their entire carpet protected. Make your truck or SUV stand out with chrome accessories such as 20-inch wheels and tires, running boards, mirror covers, and door handles. Need a gift idea? Adding remote start will surely please your loved one. Call Shauna today for all your accessory needs. 270-365-5522. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton. New car and truck buyers, listen up. It's the time of year that the 16s are rolling out and the 17s are rolling in. At Trice Hughes Incorporated, we offer 7 new American car lines to choose from, awesome trade-in allowances, end-of-the-year model rebates, and great financing options. Some people think they have to go out of town for a great deal. We think shopping in Princeton, Kentucky at Trice Hughes Incorporated might just be the best decision you ever make. Give Trice a try before you buy. And as always, if we don't have what you're looking for on our lot, we'll find it for you. Trice Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
And we're back here at 103.3 FM, The Tiger. With Tiger Sports Talk with Gator and DT, we want to thank all of our guests this morning for coming in and on this very special day, Lyon County Lion Day. Jeff and Deena Doom, along with Kerry Stovall. Ty, would you like to add anything?
I just am excited to hear. I'm gonna lean into your mic.
Right.
So DT and I are gonna share. Just thank you all for being here. Lyon County is a big part of our market, and we're just so thankful you guys are here to update us on what's going on. I want you, anytime that you have news from Lyon County Athletics or anything, WPKY wants to be a part of it.
Okay.
So keep us informed, and we want to salute your kids and highlight your kids and your achievements down there.
Well, we appreciate it, and certainly all the help that you all give us. It's an awesome opportunity. We've always had a special place for Caldwell. I've got a lot of friends over here, and like I said, or DT did, the good Lord let Deena move down to Lyon County. I don't know if we'd ever met. So Caldwell County girl, so I certainly got a lot of special ties there. But we thank you all for having us and certainly for supporting our kids. And every opportunity we get a kid up here, we'll certainly do that.
And we have a lot from our class night last night. There was probably around $300,000 worth of scholarships earned by our students, not including their Keys money, Kentucky Educational Excellence Scholarship. And those students, DT mentioned some of them working, and you look anywhere around the lake area and the different restaurants and stores there in Lyon County and other areas there, our students, sometimes it's so hard to get them to come into practice because you're planning around their work schedules. So they're an awesome bunch of kids. So,
but also in that area too, and even like our area, the people that hire them will work around their school schedules.
Exactly.
So it works both ways. It does.
Well, tonight is graduation.
Yes.
We want to give a shout out to all the graduates at Lyon County High School and wish them continued success. And I'm sure project graduation follows.
well, we actually do a project prom,
Project
instead
prom.
of project graduation. So yes, but they're
think
excited.
Yeah, they're excited to get out, but some of them, we're starting to see some of the tears to realize that they're going to be gone. And they did was that Tuesday, I guess, they do the last walk. They put their gowns on after they practice and walk all three of our schools. What a special opportunity that is to go back and see their teachers that started with them.
Well, the elementary and middle school and high school students either gather in the hallways and as they go through, and it's exciting, those kids. And then our graduates, usually some tears rolling there.
It is. I think that's the first time they realize that, this is it. So a lot of them's got a lot of plans, and we're excited about those. We hope they fulfill. We have 3 going to the military, and it was awesome last night when they were introduced. And or 4 of them. It's 4,
Yeah, 4.
going to military, and their classmates stood up and gave them a standing ovation because they know that they're going to keep us safe. And we're proud of them, and we have that every year, and I'm sure Caldwell does. So exciting times. So we're like you, we want to wish them well, and certainly thank you all for having us up this morning, and looking forward to doing this again.
Always welcome.
Well, it's a very emotional time, not just for the students, but for the faculty and parents.
It
And,
is. It is.
I know DT and we've been retired 10 years now.
That don't seem like it.
And, that was an emotional time as well, when you see some of your fellow workers retire.
That's right.
And, we miss being around the people we worked with.
And as the students, our kids our biological children have always said, when someone asks them if they have siblings, they'll say, or our Otis said the other day, she told someone she had a sister, a brother, and then 250 other siblings, and they kind of look strange, and that's really, you all know, and we get to come back and see one another, so it is a family.
And you think it's going, Lord, when we lose this group, man, I don't know what we're going to do, but somebody takes their place.
That's right.
They always move in.
That's right. Any final thoughts from anyone, or?
I thank the good Lord that we are still getting to do what we do and still love it. Like Kerry mentioned, it's a tough job, but as long as God keeps us healthy and happy, we're going to stay with it. And thank you all for having us.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming in, and I know DT and I are thankful that we're allowed to do this and share this with the community. And we want everyone to tune in next week. Next week will be our final show for the spring, next Friday. And if we're fortunate enough, we'll be back in the fall when football starts back up and some of the fall sports. So we appreciate everyone's listening and tuning in to us, and keep supporting WPKY.
And to mention, though, one more thing, the first show next year might be our week, the end of July when football is starting, but the second one will be the Dotson Day week, and that's when Greg Smith is going to be here and speak at Northside Church. And then hopefully we'll have him on Friday morning here. And so that's a pretty big deal for our community because he was a big deal.
Yeah.
He was, and we're also going to look into the possibility of maybe getting someone from Western, that is very aware of Western.
Yeah, we need to get somebody back in his time that was on the radio and talk to him a lot. But, he played, I called him Lou Alcindor, but it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Right.
And anyway, it was a pretty big deal when you think about it.
And that family is so well thought of here in
Oh,
Preston.
man.
Mr. Henry is one of, and they give an award every year now.
My son got one of them one year.
wow. Henry
$250 scholarship. That meant more to me and Wes than anything we.
And I
Because
think
Mr. Smith was a fine man.
Carol Boyd gives one out to the an employee of the school system or someone who helps out.
Right.
And John Ernest received the Henry Smith Award this year, so we're very proud of that. John's done a lot of good. I know he's helped me. He was my right arm, at all these athletic events and helped, supervise.
That first week of August, though, is a big deal. I talked to Ken Parker last night. That's the same week that Dennis Hodge has his tournament at his house.
Yeah.
So everybody try to get to go see all that stuff, Dotson Days and then the
Big
ball
week
game
for
too.
Preston.
It's a big week. And
They-
Dennis Hodge has given a lot of money to our community
He
over
really
that.
has.
That's what I was going to say. He gave two of our students got the Jake Hodge Award last night, or scholarship, and that's all sponsored, and it comes through, like you said, Kim and Katie, and opening up the Little Bush Stadium out there to raise money. So support that. There's good food out there, and they're giving back. And I loved what Dennis said last night. Pay that forward, And I was sitting there, and I'm like you guys. I've got that special time that it's about time to retire. And
You'll know. You'll know.
I do know. But the thing about that is paying it forward, giving back to our kids, and that's something that I know that we're going to want to do as well. I don't know if I want it to be a memorial scholarship, but that's something that all of us in education want to do is continue to give back to our kids and our school, and they are our future, so we want to make sure we're doing our best to take care of that.
Well said. That about wraps us up for another week here at Tiger Sports Talk. We want to thank you once again for tuning in, and we look forward to coming to you again next week. You've been listening to Tiger Sports Talk on 103.3 FM with Gator and DT.